Hey yo YouTube, I'm here to continue talking about my D&D game, the Brotherhood of the Lion. We start this campaign off where we left off, where we were at the mall. The DM asked if we do anything else before we leave or if there's anything else we want, and Nina's player pretty much says they want to go to the bookstore and uh, so I get like history books. I believe even they said like fantasy story books. They start talking about like the art of war and stuff like that, and like the DM's like in this world, things are slightly different, so it wouldn't probably be called that. And not only that, but you don't know what the art of war is, so you wouldn't even know what to look for. He kind of asks what section does she look at, and like he gives some answer. I can't remember. Uh, I don't think the DM ever even really gives him a straight answer on whether he finds it or not. And one thing I don't think I mentioned last session was that the servant to the elder vampire, which is supposed to be good friends with Becca, came with us to the mall, and uh, and I guess we took her back and dropped her off. Uh, I remember as a player, I got confused here because the conversation we had, I thought happened when we dropped her off, but apparently we dropped her off and then went to back to the warehouse garage thing that Hunter Inc. has. But I guess it was the priest or something there we were having the conversation with, because the hazmat suit guy that we captured last session, one of the things they had was this inhaler on their waist, because I said there were chemicals and stuff. Uh, and he starts asking about it or starts looking at it, and he says that whenever Nina asks that the drug has only been on the streets for a limited time and it's a rich person's drug, like you ain't gonna find like the everyday addict using it. It's called Derdactyl, I think. Uh, but they tell us that it's a mixture of different drugs. Pretty much some kind of opium and something they call devil grass. Uh, Immediately, Johan locks in on this. Once when the DM slows down and is talking and stuff, I say that Johan steps forward and takes a closer look and sees if it looks like devil weed. And the DM kind of like asked me how much did Johan know about devil weed? What exactly was he there for? And I was like, Johan was there for the whole anti-Silva when we fought anti-Silva. And he's like, he starts saying, y'all never fought anti-Silva. I was like, the one where he was on the thing and he escaped with the kid, and he's like, you never fought anti-Silva. I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah, because we never fought him. He just sat there and watched us the whole time, which I knew I was just wording it like that. So he's like, okay, so yeah, he says that it kind of has like a devil weed tint, because that's how the other guy knew the drug it was, the inhaler, because he could kind of see like the coloring of it looked like devil grass. And Johan asked if there's any rumors of this drug turning people into undead. They say no. He says, or I tell him that I describe the big black monsters whenever we were in that battle with Anton Silva. Like I asked the DM a few things about it, because like we had to do some kind of fortitude check whenever we fought them, whenever we got in a certain range of them. Uh, like I asked them, did they smell bad or something like that? Uh, and the DM kind of goes over what monster I'm talking about. I'm like the little kids, because like we found out that the little kids they were experimenting on turned into these things. And they say no, we haven't heard. Or at first they're like, explain more, or tell us more about them. And I tell them that Johan describes them, because I imagine that the character Johan could describe them better than the player who's just imagining what he sees. Uh, and like I said, they say they don't know what I'm talking about. I say still, but that seems like devil weed to me, and if they got devil weed, that means that they got access to a hell dimension. We've been trying to find the source on Mistral since I've been here, and they seem pretty confused by it. They're like, "Whoa, you're saying that it's not just called that, but it's actually from like a hell dimension from the. I think at first they worded it as the hell dimension, and at one point Johan's like a hell dimension. There's many, and there's three different experiments that they did there, and Johann breaks them all down. One of them is just like where they're just junkies and they kind of turn undeadish like. One of them, when they die, they actually pop back up as a vampire. Uh, and then like there's another one that has like croc skin, and one of the people from Hunters Inc. says that there's rumors that in like one of the other countries there's a drug there that gives you like alligator like skin. The DM talks about how it's a real thing. Like he actually ends up posting some pictures of the of the actual thing, and he says it's the same thing that Johann said, where because like Johann said that it isn't so much devil weed, but it's the mixture of the other drugs that turns these people like this, and he says that's the rumor of what's going on here is that they're mixing something, some kind of opium. And I don't remember why, but for some reason the DM tells us, or we kind of go over how the big gorilla gulags on their chest, it says Overon. And like I want to say the alpha had like the alpha Overon, something like that. And again, for some reason we get on the, I don't remember why we get on the conversation of the elder vampire, and Beck starts talking about how I want to say for whatever reason Nina and Beck start talking, and it gets brought up, and she mentions that the elder vampire and pretty much the sisterhood, they don't feed off of humans directly. Like they'll use blood pouches and stuff like that, and it's not because they're goodly, but just because that they don't want to make other vampires. Eventually, Johann gets in the conversation because he's not too far on the map from them, and he asks do they ever drain them? And she's like, yeah, but that could still create another vampire. And he's like, no, do they ever drain them with the pouches? And she's like, now that they probably do. Like they probably do that for like people they want to make a point to, like people that are traitors or enemies of them or something like that. Mostly Johann asked it because he wants to know uh, how evil or good that elder vampire is that Craven attacked. And that group of vampires we're talking about is called the Sisters of Eunice, by the way. Uh, and then, I don't know if it happens after that or some time passes, but yeah, I want to say that some time passes because I know that because the DM asked a few questions like does Nina let the gorilla people stay armed, or if she takes them away. She says she takes them away, and whenever he asked her what is Ivan, what is Nina's goons doing this whole time, and pretty much she says that one of them's watching the gorilla and the other two are at the where the orcs are that are always partying, moshing and stuff like that. And I pretty much just say that Onyx Scar is with the new Wemmicks, introducing them to the ones on our that and accompanying us on our mission. Uh, and like I said, some time goes by because later on I question whether or not the dog heads or two of the goons should be there because of the way Nina's player described how they were doing things. Um, and like I said, the DM said that like hours went by, so everyone's here. Um, but it is her AC, and I don't remember if it's now because I want to say this is a surprise round, and then the next round, like the person gets another attack because of initiative, and they're like, "What hit me?" And the DM's like, says like, "Look at the map" or something like that, and we see these three like giant Constantine looking people, and the DM tells us to roll initiative, and let's take a look at the map old DSP style. Now, the one that hit Nina was male, and I want to say there were two males and one female. One that hit Nina was female. I want to say there was four of them, now that I think about it, because one was fighting Kohaku, and then there was another one down here where Ivan was. And during the surprise round, one of them hits Nina, one of them hits Kohaku, one of them hits Johan, and I want to say the other one hits Ivan. Uh, Roll initiative. It looks like Kohaku. Looks like the goons are at the top, and then Onyx, Johan, and then looks like Morgana rolled a 1. These four end up being like the strongest thing that the Brotherhood taking like 90 points. Initially, Rawright is like there, maybe even a little closer. I know he's in range to get hit by the girl. So immediately I have Rawright, Dimension Door over here, and Ivan, Apollo are over here along with some of the orcs at the time. I want to say it was these two orcs here. Johan's first round, he activates Merciful on his sword and brings his shield up. If I would have realized how strong they were, I would have probably went into Dwarven stance first round. But the way our DM likes to play, he likes to always add new monsters in during the fight. So I was thinking maybe that was gonna happen, but like 2 or 3 rounds in, I realized how legit these things are, and then I go into a Dwarven stance, then bringing my AC up to 44. Onyx Scar does a full movement, and when I decide who I'm going to attack, because I end up pulling my bow out, like Kohaku is just absorbing everything they hit because he's a lycanthrope. Like he's taking who's broken. Johan's legit. I don't even think I considered Nina's now that I think about it. Mostly because she was a little further than everyone else. I ended up deciding to shoot at the one down here fighting Ivan. I used them to make up the difference in haste because each player could only be 30 feet from me up here by himself. I used them, and I want to say that, and eventually Onyx Scar makes his way down to the one that's fighting Apollo and Ivan, and I want to say that one drops first, and whenever that one drops down and like falls into the shadows, which I forgot to mention that they appeared to come out of the glooms. And then I want to say like Onyx Scar, after he defeats that Onyx Scar, like he only hits Kohaku's the one that he's fighting only once. Besides that, Kohaku fights this guy by himself the whole time. But I want to say that one drops next. and then again he comes down and just does one hit, and uh, I want to say Apollo is shooting at the one, starts shooting at the one that Nina's fighting, uh, and I do believe Ivan is down here. During the end of the fight, he's there and does a couple of hits on him. Or no, I'm pretty sure he does like 2 rounds on him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, because I'm trying to knock him out with Johann since he has Merciful on his sword. And in my mind, I'm thinking that Apollo, that one of the goons are going to drop it before Johann does. So Johann ends up putting his shield up and starts double gripping and starts power attacking for 20. Because like they have an incredibly low AC, like their AC is like 15, and Johann's base attack is so high, and his and since he's over 20 level by one, he's able to do a base or a power attack that high. And I want to say the first round, like I only get like 2 of them in. Like I roll a one and something terrible with the last one, and then like the next round I get all five. Like I tell the DM I'm just swinging for the fences, and unlike the other ones, he just like collapses. He doesn't shrink down and disappear. And we follow him into the gloom. So all of us wait around, and and for Becca to activate us going into the glooms. Uh, it gets to it's one of Nina's characters who are first in initiative after that. Let me look. After Beck brings us into the glooms, Apollo and stuff, they could only move 40 feet from Beck or they'll fall out of the glooms. And when it's Onyxgar's turn, he just takes a 5 foot step and she ends up dropping. Looking back, I wish I would have took one shot at a time because I probably could have just knocked her out. But we already got one knocked out, and technically Onyx Scar's in a channeled rage, so he ain't probably not really thinking about keeping survivors. Although after Onyx Scar did his one hit on the one that Johann knocked out, like the next round he went into full defense. Uh, Before Johann knocked him out, which was funny because Nina's player like full defense. Why are you doing that? And I just didn't answer him. And Nina's player was like on a trip or something, and they forgot to bring their laptop and their phone charger. So like the whole game, they're playing on black screen because they're trying to save their phone energy. And like every now and then they're trying to do something on the map, and you could tell they're struggling. Because like Nina being a spellcaster, they're always doing the measurements for the spell, and like at one point I could see them just doing lines, but like only a couple minutes I would say after this fight, Nina's player's thing goes off and never comes back, and and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure their phone finally went out like conveniently right after the fight. Uh, and it was like 3 in the morning. Like the DM said, like yeah, they're probably like it's already this late, might as well. Uh, so we end up wrapping it up there. Um, Future predictions. Well, whenever like I mentioned to the DM, like I told you, we're gonna be on Brotherhood of the Lion for a couple of weeks. He said no. Technically, we could probably start next week on Brotherhood of the Lion, and then when we get to a certain point, because like I said, we're pretty much waiting for Johann to give the Band of Titans the hags that they killed. Um, and once when we do that, we could switch over. So there's a good chance the next campaign might be both parties. Supposedly we're playing tomorrow, or we might be playing tomorrow, because like the DM said that he can't play on Saturday this week. Um, Maybe Friday, but he said most likely it's tomorrow. But I haven't heard. He hasn't messaged anything since then. So truth be told, I don't know. if it's going to be tomorrow or Friday, but we'll find out. And you want to know the whole story, watch the next video. You want to know everything, watch all my videos, and check you later.